Hey guys, it's Godbars here, the self-proclaimed hip-hop historian, and this is the 216th episode of my series where I grab a vinyl from my collection, talk about why I love it, what influence it has, and what its place is in the grand scheme of hip-hop. So I ended my last set of 90s classics in Houston, Texas with Ghetto Boys. So I figured I might as well start this set off with one of the only other Southern hip hop acts that could possibly rival that trio's impact and influence on the genre. That, of course, being the legendary duo Outkast. Andre 3000 and Big Boy may not be fresh new faces to this channel, but it's definitely been a while since I covered 2000 Stankonia, and even longer since I first discussed the duo with their magnum opus 1998's Aquemini. However, they never would have managed to attain that masterpiece if they hadn't laid down the groundwork an album prior with the highly conceptual classic ATLiens that dropped in 1996. And only a couple years before that, they released their iconic debut, 1994's Southern Playlistic Cadillac Music. But the lyrical and artistic growth from their first album to the sophomore LP here is tangible. Not only was this the first time Outkast really played with a theme that stretched across an entire project, but both Three Stacks and Big Boy really took a step up in the production as well as their writing and how they delivered it. Both members already had their idiosyncratic styles to a degree on their debut album, but that classic was more displaying their skills for the world to see and giving some background on where they came from and what they were accustomed to, which adds up considering it was their introduction to the game. But by the time we got to ATLiens here, both rappers had pretty much all but perfected their deliveries and flows. I wanted to get a jump on sharing some of my favorite verses from this LP since there's so many. And I wanted to start a little earlier than normal so I can get in verses from both Andre and Big Boy. I want to start with the opening verse from 3K on Babylon, where he paints a vivid and pretty poignant picture way ahead of its years. Rapping, I came into this world high as a bird from secondhand cocaine powder. I know it sounds absurd. I never tooted, but it's in my veins, while the rest of the country bungees off bridges with no snapback. I also love later on in this track when he says, "Oh, now it's on from here on out. Put your hands in the atmosphere if you know what I'm talking about. Now, if two hearts done walk on out and I see you on the next song, they call it horny because it's devilish. Now see we dead wrong." The other Andre 3000 verses I want to share come on the stellar cut Elevators or Me and You when he's describing running into a former acquaintance from high school and having to explain to the person that the little bit of fame Andre had at the time wasn't the night and day difference that this other person was making it out to be. The lines I wanted to share for this one comes a little further into this iconic verse, where Three Stacks gives us gems like, "And he kept asking me, what kind of car do you drive? I know you paid. I know y'all got buku hoes from all them songs y'all done made." And I replied that I'd been going through the same things that he had. True, I've got more fans than the average man, but not enough loot to last me to the end of the week. I live by the beat like you live check to check. If I don't move your feet, then I don't eat. So we like neck to neck. Yes, we done come a long way like them slim-ass cigarettes. From Virginia, this ain't gonna stop, so we just gonna continue. Of course, Andre 3000 has a pretty much endless amount of thought-provoking content all across this album, but you can't forget nor downplay how much of a lyrical beast Big Boy truly is, which he's proving on ATLiens constantly. I feel like literally the only reason this monster of an MC occasionally will get overlooked is because of this weird effect where certain groups in hip-hop, especially duos and trios, get treated as if you can only pull one member from each act when you're making a list of top 50 rappers or what have you. Andre 3000 is one of those lyrical titans that pretty much any selection of best rappers alive is obligated to include, which I think has resulted in a good amount of people leaving out the other half of Outkast from their list, even though Big Boy can wrap circles around a lot of the people that beat him out for these placements. The verse of his I wanted to share comes on the title track, which doesn't just have one of the all-time great instrumentals from the 90s, it also has some killer verses, with Big Boy giving us quotable lines starting with, "Well, it's the M.I. crooked letter, ain't no one better, and when I'm on the microphone, you best to wear your sweater, 'cause I'm cooler than a polar bear's toenails, oh hell, there he go again, talking that shit, bend corners like I was a curve, I struck a nerve, and now you bout to see this southern player serve. I heard it's not where you from, but where you pay rent. Then I heard it's not what you make, but how much you spent. You got me bent like elbows, amongst other things, but I'm not worried." The one other section I wanted to share from Big Boy is on one of the slightly lesser known tracks on this LP titled Waylon, where he raps, "In the zone like Kaiser Soze, I'm always the usual suspect. No check, all I got in this game is my respect. And Southern pride, I be checking my fucking head, scared, looking up in your face, boy I see dead. If you test like SAT, then I guess that we may be MCs in the piece, freestyles be freebies. I'd be that wrong dude to fuck with, wouldn't I? Wouldn't I be the wrong one to try? Never eaten chicken thighs. Only 20-piece mono, flow zone like Flojo. I wanted to figure out just how low could your hoe go." The immersive production on here is completely handled in house by a mix of Outkast or Earth Tone 3 and Organized Noise. And other Dungeon Family affiliates pop up for guest appearances, like Cold Breeze and Witch Doctor, as well as Big Jip, Timo, and Cujo from Goody Mob. For my three favorite tracks on this one, I think I would have to go with Two Dope Boys in a Cadillac, Jazzy Bell, and Elevator's Me and You. With my honorable mentions, I'm going to leave out a couple of the songs I already discussed by name, like Babylon or the title track, to make room for songs like Millennium, Wheels of Steel, Over the Woods, Mainstream, Decatur Psalm, E.T. or Extraterrestrial, and Waylon. Thank you for watching my 216th video. Next up, we're going to New York to cover a rapper that's way overdue on the page. So tune in for that one, and if you enjoyed, be sure to like, subscribe, and let me know what your favorite songs are off this southern work of art. Don't forget to have a great day, and I love you.
Look, the key to my soul is locked in the cage it opens. The framework was made from my own rib cue. What came first, the crack or the crack lighter? Whichever one the first fiend used to bring back